the 4 of the worst frozen foods you must eat every day and for you should never touch. They claimed that frozen food was safe, convenient, and even nutritious. What if, however, the truth is considerably more harmful than anyone is willing to acknowledge? Millions of seniors are currently consuming foods that are causing internal heart damage without even realizing it. And from the freezer area, not from takeaway or fast food. Your kitchen table is only a few feet away from the silent danger. Avoid the-box completely and choose fresh or frozen wild-caught fish that hasn't been breaded. Then bake or steam it with lemon, garlic, and olive oil. In fact, that combination promotes endothelial function and reduces inflammation, which is essential for healthy circulation after age 60. The next frozen item may appear harmless on the outside, but it contains enough sodium to raise your blood pressure, inflammatory oils, and imitation cheese. Third, pizzas that are frozen. They're inexpensive. They're simple. Additionally, they are now the preferred frozen meal for millions of senior citizens. However, one of the worst things a senior can consume is frozen pizza. Beyond the melted cheese and crispy crust lies a maze of cardiovascular hazards that become more severe around the age of 60. First, the sodium. More than 1 to 200 incretors of sodium are frequently found in one person-sized frozen pizza. In one sitting, these frozen foods are consumed weekly by more than 100 million senior citizens. However, the majority are unaware that they are causing inflammation, hardening arteries, and gradually increasing blood pressure, all of which directly contribute to heart attacks, strokes, and even heart failure. Even worse, 90% of seniors are unaware that they are engaging in this behavior. They never guess that the frozen meal is the cause of their dizziness, fatigue, fogginess, swollen legs, and altered heartbeat. The 4 frozen foods that seniors should avoid touching and the 4 that you need to eat every day to keep your heart healthy and live a long, healthy life into your 70s and 80s are revealed in this video to help you know exactly what to eat and what to avoid. They are categorized from least to most harmful and from least to most healing. Stay put, because the top frozen item on this list isn't just deceptive. It can raise an older adult's risk of stroke by up to 78%, yet hardly anyone is discussing it. Real clinical studies, peer-reviewed research, and human trials support each and every assertion made in this movie. The science has been simplified. But if you would want to read it yourself, links to all the sources are provided in the description below. Tell us in the comments how old you are and when your next birthday is before we get started. Because your story counts, we are reading each and every one of them and responding. Let's begin with number 4 right away. It's the first frozen meal that your heart is subtly pleading with you to quit eating. Fourth, frozen fillets with breaded fish. Frozen fish seems healthy, doesn't it? However, it's not simply unhealthy when it's fried, breaded, and frozen. It turns into a cardiovascular bomb that is just ready to go off in your blood. The majority of seniors seek for breaded fish patties, fillets, or sticks in the hopes of obtaining omega-3 fatty acids and protein. However, the truth is far more sinister. These frozen fillets typically contain hydrogenated oils, excessive sodium, and refined wheat flour in their breading. Even in little doses, certain foods the risk of heart disease by 23%. Combine that with a high salt level, sometimes more than 500 milliliters per serving, and you have the recipe for high blood pressure, vascular stiffness, and water retention without the most harmful cardiac triggers for adults over 60. However, the threat doesn't end there. These fish fillets are subjected to advanced glycation end products during industrial frying and freezing. These harmful substances speed up vascular aging, harm cells, and interfere with insulin communication. High levels of advanced glycation end product were linked to twice the risk of atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm condition that affects almost 1 in 3 adults over 65, according to a study published in Circulation Research. What about the actual fish? The majority of frozen breaded fish products employ inexpensive, low-quality whitefish, such as basa or pollock, that have lost nutrients and are frequently soaked in phosphates to maintain texture, particularly in elderly people will already have heart or kidney problems. These chemicals have been connected to increased kidney strain and calcium imbalance, which can harden arteries and raise the risk of stroke. After eating frozen breaded fish, if your ankles swell the next morning or your heart feels fluttery, it's not your imagination. Your body is responding to an excess of toxins. That's almost your whole daily allowance. Because the kidney's ability to filter sodium decreases with age, seniors are particularly susceptible to sodium overload. As a result, the blood retains more salt, which draws in water, increasing volume and elevating blood pressure. Seniors who consume a lot of sodium in their diet are 72% more likely to develop left ventricular hypertrophy, which can result in heart failure, according to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Additionally, some packets contain superfood powders like goji or acai, which are dried extracts with few remaining active nutrients, as well as other sneaky additives, like garg and citric acid, which can cause minor inflammation and irritate the gut lining, particularly in elderly persons with sensitive digestion. These may be subtly increasing inflammation, raising insulin, and impairing circulation if you're consuming them in the mistaken belief that they're good for your heart. A better option: use low glycemic fruits such as frozen blackberries or blueberries to make your own smoothie. Add a tablespoon of flaxseed, a handful of spinach. The crust, however, may be worse. Typically, bleached refined wheat flour that has been totally depleted of fiber and minerals is used to make it. Researchers now associate this type of fast-burning carbohydrate with increased arterial stiffness and plaque accumulation because it generates blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and ultimately glycemic unpredictability. For those over 60, that is the true cause of silent heart attacks and strokes. Then there is the imitation cheese. The processed cheese alternatives used in the majority of frozen pizzas are loaded with emulsifiers, vegetable oils, and sodium phosphate, which keeps the pizza gooey but throws off your body's calcium balance. Seniors are especially at risk from phosphate excess. It hardens arteries and removes calcium from bones. Excess phosphate in older persons actually quadrupled the risk of arterial calcification and raised cardiac mortality by 38%, according to a 2017 study published in Kidney International. Still not persuaded? Nitrates, preservatives, and hydrogenated fats are also included in a lot of frozen pizzas, particularly in the meat toppings. These chemicals have been connected to simultaneous increases in blood pressure, cholesterol, and cognitive impairment by causing oxidative stress in the heart and brain. Your body is alerting you if you've ever felt bloated, lightheaded, or exhausted after eating frozen pizza. This isn't food. It poses a risk to the heart. Make your own mini pizza with whole grain par, fresh tomato paste, real mozzarella, and heart-healthy toppings like spinach and olive oil for a healthier option. In addition to being 10 times safer and equally quick, it promotes blood flow rather than obstructs it. However, since it's found in practically every freezer and is the most cunning blood sugar catastrophe of all, we must now discuss the following frozen item. Second place, packs of frozen fruit smoothies. Most likely you've seen them. Pre-cut fruit mixtures that are frozen, wrapped in plastic bags, and marketed as immune-stimulating or antioxidant-rich. However, these frozen smoothie packs can be more detrimental than beneficial if you're over 60. Here's why. The majority of these smoothie packs contain high glycemic fruits, such as pineapple, bananas, and mangoes, frequently in concentrated amounts that cause a rapid rise in blood sugar. The natural sugar load from these combinations can override your insulin response, even if the label says there is no added sugar. Additionally, this causes severe blood sugar swings in older adults with delayed glucose metabolism or early insulin resistance, even if they did not have diabetes. Seniors with high post-meal blood sugar had a 48% increased risk of cardiovascular events, according to a 2020 study in Diabetes and Vascular Disease Research. However, that is only the beginning. Many of these frozen fruits lose their vitamin C and polyphenol content over time because they are frequently flash frozen and kept for months. In other words, you're receiving a lot more sugar, but a lot less antioxidants than you may realize. And the sugar impacts more forcefully without those protecting chemicals. It accelerates the process of arterial stiffening, destroys the endothelium, the lining of your arteries, and increases oxidative stress in your blood vessels. To make matters worse, a lot of seniors mix these packs with fruit juice or almond milk that has been sweetened, which increases the glycemic load. A nutritious meal devolves into a blood sugar roller coaster that causes long-term vascular damage, energy slumps, and mental fog. After 20 minutes of feeling wonderful, you can feel exhausted, lightheaded, or intellectually lethargic, and never feel like you're connected to your smoothie. and a scoop of unsweetened protein powder. In addition to delivering fiber and supporting blood sugar homeostasis, this feeds your heart rather than your blood pressure. The worst frozen meal that seniors should avoid touching is the one that has been connected to heart failure, stroke, and even sudden cardiac death. First place, microwavable breakfast sandwiches that are frozen. They appear practical, they seem innocuous. Additionally, it is abundant in free minerals like magnesium, potassium, and folate, all of which are frequently lacking in older persons. Magnesium helps maintain regular heartbeats. Excess sodium is flushed out by potassium. Homocysteine, an amino acid associated with arterial plaque in the elderly, is decreased by folate. Your body may be begging for nitric oxide if you've experienced symptoms like lightedness, cold hands and feet, or elevated blood pressure even after eating a healthy diet. One of the quickest ways to include spinach is with frozen spinach. Try mixing it into frozen berry smoothies or sodding it with garlic and olive oil. Your heart will appreciate it if you don't cut or waste. A silent warrior is the next frozen food. It fortifies the structure of your heart from the inside out and restores collagen in your arteries. Third, shelled soybeans, frozen edamame. While it may not be in every freezer, frozen breakfast sandwiches, however, pose a threefold threat to cardiovascular health in older adults. They are among the supermarket's most processed chemical-laden frozen meals, and each bite packs a sneaky punch of saturated fat, salt, and artificial additives. Let's dissect it. The salt content of a typical frozen breakfast sandwich ranges from 800 to 1,300 micrograms. Before 9 a.m. that is frequently more than 50% of your daily allowance. Additionally, that type of salt overload does not effectively filter out in elderly people with age-related renal alterations. Rather, it remains in the blood, causing its volume and pressure to increase. Adults over 60 who consumed more over 1/500th of sodium per day were 71% more likely to develop left-sided heart failure, according to a 2022 analysis published in the Journal of Hypertension. However, things worsen. Preserved meats like bacon and sausage, which are high in nitrates and nitrites and cause oxidative stress, are piled on top of these sandwiches. The body converts nitrates into nitrosamines, which are substances that harm blood vessels, hinder the synthesis of nitric oxide, and cause the artery walls to harden. Your heart must work harder with each beat. After that flexibility is gone. The egg, frequently, it isn't even real. The majority include a liquid egg mixture consisting of anti-caking agents, emulsifiers, additives, and powdered egg product. Temperature cooking, freezing and reheating of these artificial substances results in advanced glycation end products, which worsen blood vessel inflammation and set off a harmful immunological reaction. Circulation reports that atherosclerosis, arrhythmias, and cognitive loss are all directly associated with higher advanced glycation end products in older persons. A contributing factor in these sandwiches is even the biscuit or muffin that is utilized. They have virtually little fiber and are made from bleached white flour and commercial seed oils. This results in a quick spike in blood sugar that can cause morning weariness, lightheadedness, and even blurred eyesight. It's not only aging. If you've ever felt exhausted or dizzy after eating one of these sandwiches, it is a warning indication for metabolism. Breakfast sandwiches that are frozen are not breakfast. They resemble a plastic wrap heart attack. Additionally, consuming these on a regular basis may be silently increasing the risk of stroke, weakening arteries, and causing blood pressure rises in seniors over 60 who don't exhibit any warning signs. After exposing the 4 worst frozen foods, let's take a different approach, because frozen foods aren't always nasty. Indeed, if you're over 60, some can help repair cellular damage, enhance circulation, and protect your arteries. Frozen spinach. Although it may not be particularly exciting, frozen spinach is a nutrient-dense food that can shield aging arteries more effectively than nearly any other vegetable. When spinach is frozen at its ripest, it retains a lot of nitrates, which the body uses to make nitric oxide, a substance that relaxes blood vessels and increases blood flow. That isn't a theory. According to a research in clinical nutrition, persons over 60 who ate only 1 serving of spinach per day saw a substantial 11-point drop in systolic blood pressure in just 1 week. That has no negative effects and is more potent than some drugs. Additionally, adding frozen spinach to soups, omelets, or stews is a breeze because it has already been blanched and diced. No preparation is necessary. Frozen edamame should be one of the most comprehensive plant-based proteins on the market. These green soybeans have special ingredients that help improve your cholesterol, heart muscle, and arteries. The greatest advantage, flavonoids. These are organic plant substances that replicate the blood vessel protective effects of estrogen. Lower estrogen levels in older adults raise blood pressure and arterial stiffness, particularly in postmenopausal women. Simply take a handful out of the freezer, thaw it up a little, and then mix it with protein shakes, yogurt, or oatmeal. You might not require additional vitamins if you've been experiencing brain fog upon waking, cholesterol issues, or a decrease in your energy levels. Perhaps all you need is a spoonful of berries. We've now arrived at the last one, the best frozen meals that any senior should consume on a daily basis. This is because it does more than just support the heart. It also aids in blood vessel reconstruction, illness prevention, and even the reversal of early vascular damage indicators. First place, air-fried or oven-baked, frozen unbreaded chicken wings. Yes, chicken wings. Not just any wings, though. One of the greatest everyday frozen foods for seniors over 60 is frozen unbreaded chicken wings. Diets rich in soy, isoflavones, decreased systolic blood pressure by an average of 5.9 meters towards an adults over 60, according to a 2021 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension. Edamame, however, goes farther. It contains vitamin K2, which aids in moving calcium out of your arteries and back into your bones, and arginine, an amino acid that aids in the production of nitric oxide, the same substance found in spinach that relaxes arteries and increases circulation. This lowers the chance of calcification, a major contributor to heart attacks in the elderly. Better yet, edamame has a high fiber content, very little salt, and no cholesterol, all of which promote improved digestion, blood sugar regulation, and a more wholesome gut flora. There is seriousness to that gut-heart connection. Increased inflammation and the development of arterial plaque can result from a disturbed microbiome. Using frozen edamame is also quite simple. Simply steam it for 5 minutes, then sprinkle with sea salt and a little olive oil. It can be eaten on its own as a snack or added to soups and salads. It's filling, high in protein, and perfect for seniors who want to keep their muscles while keeping their hearts healthy. The next meal performs an even more uncommon action. It simultaneously lowers cholesterol, nourishes the intestines, and aids in artery healing. To ensure that you don't miss any more videos like this, please hit the bell symbol, subscribe, and like the video if you have enjoyed it thus far. And I want to know whether you're with me if you're now watching. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comment section. If not, type 0.2. Mixed berries that are frozen, particularly blackberries and blueberries. Mixed berries that are frozen are more than just a tasty treat. They are among the most potent cardiovascular allies that an elderly person can have on hand, particularly if you concentrate on low sugar types like raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. Each serving of these berries has a surprisingly potent anti-inflammatory, cholesterol-lowering, and blood vessel protective action. Why are they so strong? Anthocyanins. In addition to giving berries their color, these dark plant pigments actually reduce blood vessel inflammation. In persons over 60, daily berry consumption decreased arterial stiffness by more than 9% and LDL cholesterol levels by 11%, according to a research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. But that's not all. Additionally, berries enhance endothelial function, which regulates the expansion and contraction of your blood vessels. One of the first indications of cardiac disease is poor endothelial function, which is entirely quiet. However, a study published in Circulation found that within 8 weeks, seniors who had frozen berries on a daily basis experienced a significant decrease in oxidative stress indicators, blood pressure, and blood flow. Additionally, they promote insulin sensitivity, which is important for elderly people with metabolic syndrome or prediabetes. These berries are rich in soluble fiber and have a low glycemic index in contrast to high-sugar smoothie fruits like pineapple or mango. This fiber slows the absorption of sugar and supports gut microbes that lower systemic inflammation, which is a major cause of plaque accumulation and the risk of stroke. The best part is that frozen berries have the same nutritional value as fresh ones. In actuality, they are frequently frozen within hours of harvest, which preserves more nutrients than fresh fruit that has been stored for days or transported, provided they are prepared properly. Why? Because they are free of the sugar, preservatives, and inflammatory seed oils present in processed frozen meals, and because they are full of heart protective nutrients, high-quality protein and collagen that strengthens bones. The science is here. Sarcopenia is the term for the rapid loss of muscle mass in seniors over 60, which can occur at a rate of up to 8% every decade. It slows your metabolism, weakens your legs, and strains your heart. Please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. Thank you for viewing. Complete amino acids that aid in the preservation and repair of heart and muscular tissue can be found in plenty in frozen chicken wings, particularly when they are air-fried or baked without breading. A 2022 study published in Nutrients found that seniors who consumed more protein, particularly from poultry, had a 41% decreased risk of cardiovascular events during a 5-year period. Additionally, the natural collagen and connective tissue found in wings promote joint health and vascular flexibility. Wings are higher in skin and bone than chicken breasts, which are two sources of type 1 and type 3 collagen, which are essential for vascular flexibility and integrity. In older persons, a robust artery volus associated with a lower risk of stroke and more stable blood pressure. Additionally, they are naturally high in zinc, selenium, and vitamin B6, which are nutrients that assist nerve communication, cholesterol metabolism, and immunological function. Additionally, when prepared correctly, there should be no wheat, seed oils, or preservatives. In contrast to commercial frozen foods, wings can be a low-carb, clean-burning protein source that is suitable for seniors and won't raise blood sugar or insulin levels. How you prepare them is crucial. Don't use the breaded or battered ones. Look for frozen chicken wings that are plain. Cook them in the oven or air fryer after seasoning them with anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, garlic, or rosemary. More oil is required. Only crispy, high-protein wings that fuel your metabolism, heart, and muscles while sating your hunger. Wings are only considered junk food if they are deep-fried and drenched in sodium. As you may have been advised, frozen wings become a daily weapon to combat weakness, maintain strength, and promote healthy aging when you take charge of the contents. You are now aware of the reality. The issue isn't with your freezer. It is the result of your efforts. Every eating choice becomes more significant after age 60, before you even realize it. Some frozen foods silently tighten your arteries, raise your blood pressure, and deplete your vitality. Others, such as spinach, edamame, berries, and the proper type of frozen chicken wings, help rebuild muscle, improve circulation, and shield your heart from the inside out. It's time to get rid of any frozen breaded fish, microwave breakfast, sandwiches, or sugary smoothie packs that you may currently have in your freezer. These foods are hastening the aging process of your heart, which is happening more quickly than you realize. Swap them out for foods that support, rather than undermine your health. Foods that improve blood flow, strengthen tissue, reduce inflammation, and improve your ability to exercise, sleep, and think on a daily basis. We'd like to hear from you now. Which frozen food will you no longer eat as of right now? Or what healthy substitution are you eager to make? Put it in the comments section. We're reading each one and responding with advice. In order to ensure that you never miss another vital senior health advice, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if this video inspired you to rethink your freezer. Oh, and mention your nation in the comments to let us know where you're watching from. We would be delighted to hear from you. Okay, let's get going. Your next meal has the power to strengthen or weaken your heart. You have the option